Too often, a lot of realtors are just aimlessly wandering throughout the day, and there's no purpose behind it, and there's no passion behind it. There's no reason, there's no energy, no fire, and so they get lost right here. So what you need to do is build out your business plan, build out your vision board, and all of that transfers over to your schedule. All right, welcome back. This is exciting. We just wrapped up January. If you've been following these last 3 episodes, you know that in January, the theme was how do you create enough momentum to go blow up your business for all of 2025? And so we talked about mindset, developing the systems and the schedules you need to have the right mindset to sustain yourself throughout this year. Too many realtors, too many salespeople, those that set goals, by the end of January, they're already done, about 72% of them, with their New Year's resolutions. That can't happen. And so we talked about on the last video that hit on mindset and what you need to do to maintain that. We talked about systems. What are the 4 systems? I gave out a packet in that last video. If you missed it, go back and watch it. The systems that you need for 2025 to maintain a high level of production. And then we talked about value prop. You're going to work with a lot of buyers and sellers and investors, and you have to learn how to create value. People would rather pay more for what they want than less for what they don't want. And that's just a sales skill. And so we took a whole video about how to explain that value prop. And there were 2 packets in there. So again, if you haven't watched those, go back and watch those. Those are episodes that you're going to want to consume before you go into this one. This is kind of like the capstone. It's closing out the month of January so that you can go and have a successful 2025. So today we're talking about the daily schedule. Now that you have the mindset, you've got the systems in place, you know how to create the value. Now you need to know what to do on a daily basis. We're going to go into my sales manual packet that's in production right now that should be out and ready to roll. It's 150 pages on real estate sales. We're going to talk about that today. I'm going to pull it up on the whiteboard. We're going to talk about the book club and everything that you need to do, but specifically the daily schedule to be a top producer, to go sell more than 50, 75, 100 deals as a realtor. What do you need to be doing minute by minute in order to crush it? This is the video that you're going to want to watch. Go grab, like I always say, go grab your notepad. You're going to grab a pen. You're going to take a ton of notes in this video. And there's 2 packets that I'm giving out that I created just for you guys on this video. So make sure you watch out for those keywords. Before we jump in, real quick, remember last year we talked about a book club. You have to prioritize your education. You have to outpace your paycheck with your education. Keep your learning ahead of your earning. That is the biggest thing that I can relay to you to go and have a great sales career. So this year, the first month, we're diving into Stephen Covey's book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So go grab this book. It has a companion book, a personal workbook that goes with it. So you're going to see in all my videos, if you reach out to me, you're going to see on Instagram that we're constantly talking about this here in January. Make sure you watch for what's going to be in February, March, and all the way throughout the rest of the year. If you want to be a part of this book club, comment in the sections below, book club, and I'll go ahead and I'll send you. I've got a 15-page PDF that goes through all the books that we're going to prioritize this year to increase your sales skill so that you can close more deals. So again, comment book club, and I'll make sure I get that out to you. All right, let's rock and roll. All right, let's dive into this. So today we're going to talk about the schedule. Every single detail that you need to have built out in your schedule in order to go produce at a really high level. Now, why are we talking about this? Why is this the final video for January? Well, last year we read these 2 books. It was How Will You Measure Life by Clayton M. Christensen and Peter Drucker's The Effective Executive. We talked about both of these in regards to managing your time efficiently and what are the things that you need to focus on. One of the greatest principles that I remember going through on Clayton M. Christensen was the importance of focusing on things that matter. Too often, realtors are chasing things that are urgent for fires that you need to put out. In reality, what happens is you burn out, you lose focus, and he talked about here that too many salespeople end up getting divorced. They end up in legal issues. They end up really missing the mark on the things that matter most. They don't prioritize their spouse, their kids, God, deity, and then all of a sudden they're over in left field and they're wondering why they're over there. So incredible books on why it's so important to plan and schedule the things that actually matter. And as you learn and develop that skill, this will help you so that you can have a really effective schedule. I'd highly recommend to go grab these books. Okay, let's dive into this. So in the sales manual, there's a section on schedules. So we're going to go over that. When you build out your schedule, it's so important that you do a vision board and your business plan first. If this is the first time you're watching any of my content, you haven't built a vision board or business plan, go ahead and comment below vision board, and I'll send you, I have a PDF packet on this. It'll help you build out your vision board. It'll help you build out your business plan. Because again, too often a lot of realtors are just aimlessly wandering throughout the day, and there's no purpose behind it, and there's no passion behind it. There's no reason, there's no energy, no fire, and so they get lost right here. So what you need to do is build out your business plan, build out your vision board, and all of that transfers over to your schedule. All right, now let's go to the next page. So how do you build out the schedule, the ideal schedule, to go and produce at a really high level? The first thing that you have to master and really get good at is it's called time blocking, okay? So time blocking. So write this down in your notes. Time blocking. Essentially what time blocking is it allows you to separate different portions of your day so that you focus on certain things at that specific time of day, and you're not always chasing different people's schedules. You can prioritize yours. You're gonna have a lot of clients that are gonna want to show you homes at this time or listing appointments over here. And then what happens is you're chasing and following other people's schedules, and you're not taking ownership of your own and creating that type of daily schedule where other people have to come and book an appointment with you versus you always doing what they want to do. So it allows you to focus on the things that actually matter. And again, going back to how you measure your life, it allows you to focus on the things that are truly important, that have eternal importance, and not just chasing money 24/7. It's called time blocking. So what are the 4 different areas or 5 different areas that you should time block? Well, a lot of salespeople and realtors struggle with their mind. The biggest adversary to your success is going to be your mind. I just had a call with someone today, and they're like, oh no, my mind is sharp and I'm actually really good at this. It's like, you're not, because your language that you're using right now. And so we dissected his morning routine, and sure enough, there was none. So the first time block that you need to have is your morning routine, and we'll talk more about that here in a second. The second one, when you get into the office, you should chase after FSBOs and expireds just for the first hour. This is not something you need to prioritize a ton of your business to. But right in the morning, go look at all the expires that just came off the MLS. Go look at all the new for sale by owners, shoot them a text, call them, reach out to them, and then schedule to go knock them throughout the week. But you only need to do that for about an hour right there when you start the workday. Then the third time block right here is going to be that busy time. So you're going to want to go and have some section in your day where you're answering emails, doing your social media posts, all the other branches of your business that aren't aggressively prospecting. You want to have that done in the morning. So why is it that I can produce all this content? Why is it that I can go and have 2 different social media platforms that are growing really fast? Because I just do that in the morning. I don't do it throughout the entire day. It's just blocked right there. And if I get a call from a client right here, or someone else wants my attention right there, that is not the time for me to answer that. And so I'm going to simply respond, hey, I can't get to you right now, but I can get to you back at 5 o'clock. So what it allows me to do is have control and focus on my schedule and what I need to get done so I could be more efficient throughout the day. The next one is you need to have a time to aggressively go prospect. So if you're going to door knock, if you need now business, you need to go get a chunk of deals, then you should have about a 7-hour window, 80% of your day, to go and prospect. So right there, I've got it built in to go prospect. And again, going back to time blocking, I'm not going to, during this time period, if I get a call from a client, or if my transaction coordinator needs something, or like there's something on social media, whatever whatever I would normally do right here, if that happens here, I'm not going to answer it. I'm going to put my phone on silent mode. I'm going to get a transaction coordinator that can watch my deals while I'm prospecting. I'm going to turn off social media. My wife knows that the only way I'm going to answer her call is if someone's literally bleeding and they're running to the hospital. And because I need to focus right there. Too often, realtors, salespeople, the issue is just a matter of focus. It's who can show up and who can focus the longest. Those are the ones that usually do really, really well. It's just with the society we have and everybody trying to get your attention and being on social media, then answering people's calls, you can get to the end of the day and feel like it's really productive, but it wasn't because you just weren't efficient. So time blocking solves this. The last one right here is your nightly routine. Too often salespeople go to bed anxious and they're depressed and they've got anxiety and they're stressing about deals blowing up or not having any deals. Well, if you go to bed stressed, the next day you're going to wake up stressed. So you got to fix that. You got to resolve that. Okay. And we'll talk about an effective nightly routine here in a little bit. So this is the first part. It's time blocking. You have to be able to right here, go and time block, separate your day to protect your mind, be efficient on daily tasks, go prospect for 80% of your day, and then have a portion of the night where you look back on the day and then prep for tomorrow. All right, the second part, and again, this comes from Clayton M. Christensen's book, How Will You Measure Your Life? The second part is what goes into your schedule is your values. You don't put your work schedule into your calendar first. Your values go into your schedule first. The things that matter most. So you're not running into issues or feeling unfulfilled or empty or having to worry like in 10 years about depression and suicide and divorce and bankruptcy. You want to avoid all that, then start prioritizing your schedule through your values. So for me, a lot of you followed my content for a long time, you know that God is my first one, then self, then spouse, then kids, then work. So in my schedule, I'm going to put all that in there. Okay. So God goes here. So for me, when I wake up at 4:15, have a probiotic, I drink celery juice, I have a cold shower to do something hard so that I have to coach myself on something I don't want to do right out of the gate so I have control over my mind. And then I go sit in my office and God gets priority. So 30, 45 minutes on scripture study, on prayer, meditation. And right here during this time block, I follow a program called the Savers Program. Okay, it comes from a book called Miracle Morning. And the author, Al Elrod, talks about how to structure your morning so that you have a positive mindset, a positive or good foundation for the rest of the day. So this entire block right here, this morning block, not only are you prioritizing God, but you're prioritizing yourself. So I want to take care of my body. I want to get up and move and exercise and work out. I want to prioritize my mind. So I'm going to read a book. I'm going to listen to a podcast, something motivational, a Tony Robbins or an Ed Milet or James Lawrence, David Goggins, all those people. I want them to mentor me in the morning. And a lot of times we think of a mentor as someone that you have to have in person. No. Guys, most of my mentors I've never even met in my life in person, but I'm being mentored by them because I'm consuming their content by choice. So that whole morning routine, God is good, myself is good. So where am I at emotionally, mentally to start the day? I'm even chill. I'm in a good spot. I'm good with God. I'm good with myself. I haven't allowed any garbage in my brain. One of the greatest books on this is The Compound Effect. Darren Hardy talks about inputs and outputs. Trash in, garbage out. You have to be very careful with what you allow in your brain right there. Ed Milet talks about all the time how he won't take any phone calls in the first, or he won't touch his phone in the first 45 minutes of the day because he wants to have control over his mind throughout the rest of the day. So again, my values in my schedule. God good, self good, now my spouse. So my spouse, my wife and I are going to have time right here at the end of the day as part of my nightly routine. We're going to catch up. A lot of times we're talking about conspiracy theories. We're gonna be intimate. We're gonna talk about the day. We're gonna schedule for the next day. And she gets all the time in the world right there, okay? Because she's my third priority. My next one is my kids. So my kids right here, right before I go to work, right here in this gap right there, they get 30 minutes of intense dad time. So we play basketball in the backyard, we wrestle, we go on a walk, whatever they want to do. But it's intense and it's fun and it's super exciting. And they feel like, wow, like my dad prioritized me right when I got out of bed. And if they're not awake, then I go wake them up. I'd rather us have more time together than them sleep in and I miss that window. Because if I can squeeze in that experience right there, then it's as if I spent the whole day with them. And too often, again, from Clayton M. Christensen's book, too often we do the things that are urgent, that need to happen, but they're not important. Well, to me, my kids are important. They're on my value system, so they're going to go on my schedule, okay? Then the last one is work. And what's cool about this is a lot of times realtors, they're just like, work first. I need to build my schedule off of work, work, work. I get it. Let's go sell a lot of real estate. But for me, that's at the bottom. That's one of my last priorities. And then the work goes in, which we'll cover here on the next slide. But I'd really invite you to like figure out how you can do this for yourself. And if you haven't seen a schedule built like this, then again, in the comments, comment schedule. And I have a whole PDF on how to build your schedule around your value systems. In that PDF, I talked about Clayton M. Christensen's book, like we've mentioned here, but it'll really allow you to figure out how to have a fulfilling schedule so that you don't feel like you're overwhelmed, full of anxiety, depressed, not making a lot of money, and just in a really bad spot. All right, let's go to the next part. Now we're to work, all right? Everything else has been put in my schedule. I've time blocked, I've gone through my value system, and now the last one is work. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your business plan, and you're gonna take every part of your business plan over and you're gonna put it in your schedule. That's why on the previous slide in the training manual, you saw right here that you cannot build your schedule unless you have your business plan and vision board. The business plan gives you purpose in your schedule. If you don't have this, then what happens is your subconscious gets confused and overwhelmed, so you end up procrastinating. You don't pick up the phone and dial. You don't go door knock because a confused mind will always say, no, your subconscious doesn't want you to get hurt. And so it prevents you from working and coming up with all sorts of excuses. So you need to, remember, you need to have that business plan to do this part. Again, if you don't have that, comment vision board or business plan and I'll get you that packet. All right, let's go back here. So now we look at our schedule. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna take this entire business plan, let's say part of my business plan had door knocking. Okay, so I'm gonna go and put that in my schedule. So from 2:30 to about 8:30, boom, my business plan is now shown in my schedule as a priority. Well, let's say part of my business plan is to skill develop. Okay, so right here during busy time, I'm gonna take 45 minutes to read books, to sharpen my skill set, to get better at sales, and do everything I can to become sharper. Okay, then I've got social media as part of my business plan. Last year in 2024, I built my social media for my local market and I closed 11 deals. I made about $155,000, $156,000 just off of reels and targeting the pain point of clients coming all over to my local market. So for me, I'm gonna put that, again, during busy time. I'm gonna put that in my schedule. Why? Because it's part of my business plan. Then let's say working with investors. Okay, I'm gonna put that in my busy time. So now I have purpose and intention for what I'm doing during that period of time. I know what activity I need to do, so I'm not showing up to the office saying, what am I gonna do today? No, it's on my business plan. I've pulled it over here, and now I know what to do, okay? Let's say I wanna get 5 deals from my sphere, referrals. Okay, so I'm gonna put right here, let's say 30 minutes to reach out to my database. about listings I have, buyers I'm working with, off-market properties, trying to get referrals from them. I'm gonna do that for 30 minutes during my busy time. And the last one, FSBOs and expireds. These are the easiest deals in the world. People are literally raising their hand saying, hey, I want to sell, but I either don't see the value in a realtor, or my past realtor sucked and couldn't sell my house, and I need another realtor. Okay, so I'm gonna plan an entire hour to go track those down. So now let's look at my schedule. Let's go back. All of my values, the things that matter most to me, are in my schedule. So I've got a good relationship with God. I've got a good relationship with myself. I've got a good relationship with my spouse, my kids, and then my work is in my schedule. That is how you will go and sell a lot of real estate and be a good person and have a great relationship with your spouse and be a good parent and make sure that you're in good standing with deity. What happens is a lot of people, again, what they do when they build their schedule is it's just work, and it's confused work, and it's sporadic work all over the place. You don't want to do that. Make sure you have your vision board, business plan, and it pulls in here. Make sure you're doing the things that matter most to you. You're putting your values in there. And then make sure you're putting your business plan in there. One of the books that I've read recently, and I've been consuming all of his stuff, is Dan Martell. He's got a great book that he wrote called Buy Back Your Time. And last year in December, we read CEO Excellence as our book club. And it's all the senior partners over at the McKinsey company. And they went and interviewed all these like top CEOs of all the most successful companies that are doing billions in revenue worldwide. And Harvard Business School even did an article on this recently. And they interviewed all these CEOs and they asked, hey, what is your most valuable commodity as a business? And all the best companies with the smartest, most educated CEOs, it was time. It was the ability for that CEO to manage their time. So as you build your schedule, remember, you are the CEO of your real estate business. How you approach it, how you think about it, how you close deals, how you work with your clients, it's time. You are the one running this business. So you should think like a CEO would. And their commodity, the thing that they protect the most, is their time and how they leverage it. And they dove into what they're using their time for, and guess what it was? Most CEOs, the successful ones, they're using their time on themselves. Warren Buffett spends about 80% of his day reading. It's on himself. Dan Martell, the one I just mentioned, spends time with his kids and at the gym. And those things take priority. Why? Because they're part of their value system to them. And then they have other people they're leveraging to go and execute their business. So when we think about your business plan, when you're prospecting right here, go leverage a transaction coordinator. I don't log into my stuff to write my deals for my buyers or for my listings. My transaction coordinator does that. And who pays for it? My clients, because I charge them 3% on the buy side plus a transaction fee, and that goes towards my transaction coordinator. So look, what I can do, I can prospect so I don't have to write offers. What that allows me to do is buy back my time so that I can use that time more on prospecting. A lot of realtors, when they go to prospect right here, they get a call, they have to do an addendum, they have to go back and write an offer, it takes 3 hours. I'm just gonna kick that to my TC so I can keep focusing on prospecting. So go back and look at your schedule and ask yourself, am I buying back my time? Am I efficiently operating my business like a CEO? If you're not, go back, watch this video, make sure you comment those words so you can pick up those packets to get better at this. All right, let's wrap up for a second. So what'd you think of today? Take out your daily planner, look at your schedule, and ask yourself, is my business plan reflected in my schedule? Can I give my schedule to someone and they'll say, wow, I can tell what's important to you? There's a great book by Peter Drucker. I referenced it today, and he talks about how could someone come to your business and could they invest? Would they invest a lot? Would your stock go down? And would it even be worth anything? And what happens is they're essentially going to look at your schedule. You got to make sure you go back and build your schedule from your business plan, and it comes from your vision board. Make sure you go back and comment those words that we referenced today so that you get those packets so you can go close more deals in 2025. Hopefully these 4 episodes here in January allowed you to figure out how to create momentum, how to create value to the marketplace, because you only get paid, you're only worth the amount of value that you can provide to the marketplace. And you learned to control your mind and maintain it throughout the rest of the year. And you do all that by building the right schedule. So again, thanks for watching this video. Make sure you subscribe, comment the words below so you can get those packets so you can increase your skill set and go close more deals. We'll catch you in February.